and welcome to today's edition of the Imo Economy webinar series, brought to you by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government, under the leadership of Senator Hope Uzodimma. My name is Kenneth Amechi. I'm a professor of business and sustainable development at the University of Edinburgh, UK. I also hold a chair in sustainable finance at the European University Institute in Florence, and I'm the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government. It's my pleasure to welcome you to another, or what will be an interesting edition. And today we are focusing on OKOBI businesses. OKOBI, as you know, is the One Kindred, One Business initiative, which is an agenda of the 3R, or it is part of the 3R agenda of the Imo State Government. And today we have people, organizations that are beginning to take on board the OKOBI idea. And we want to share with you what they are doing, how they are going about it, and also possible lessons that can be learned from them. And I'll be moderating this session today with my colleague, Professor Judy Nzako, who I now invite to say hello to you.
Thank you, Prof. Hello, viewers and panelists. I welcome you all to today's webinar, which I believe is going to be a very interesting day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I also want to introduce the host, the immediate past Commissioner for Special Duties, Chief Oke Anukwem, to say hello.
Hello, panelists, Prof, and everybody. I want to say that I am particularly very happy that OKOBI, the One Kindred, One Business initiative, is gaining grounds in Imo State through the support of His Excellency, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, and of course, the efforts of the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. For those who may not be conversant with the OKOBI and what it represents, we play our jingle just to bring you up to date.
Susie, name I hope you some. What taking with alone? Know your company. You see one name. But do. Oh, you call your company with her. Namuke ukwakoro OKOBI. Eleke OKOBI. Iko tupenye maso. Ahu shelemanya. Ahu mchore nye maka. Ya bu na inube maka OKOBI. Ngwa gente. OKOBI watu matoma gọọmenti iwere. Ikocha obiam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara OKOBI ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị maka ọha obodo gị niile. Naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị, chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị, ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma, dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ pineapple, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ, ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ọsọ ga-akpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka, hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mete ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo. Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka mkpụ ahụ ozugbo. Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 ma ọ bụ 0911436 0076 0911-436-0076. Ịkpọrọ ha, ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara OKOBI. OKOBI wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma. OKOBI, ụmụnna wike, ọwụ ha agha.
So let's go straight to the business here. So Chinedu, I want to invite you to introduce yourself, say hello to the audience, and then we take it from there.
Hello everyone. My name is Chinedu Nwogo. And I'm the founder and current president of the new AMI cooperative.
Okay, tell us more about the new AMI cooperative. What is it all about?
The new AMI cooperative was founded just last year, in August 2023. It was founded because I decided to key into the OKOBI program because they also offered an opportunity to be able to rally farmers in my community and help improve their productivity, income, and consistent market. The new AMI cooperative currently focuses mostly on sweet potatoes. However, farmers in the cooperative this dry season were able to get into dry season farming. So they are currently growing vegetables because it increases their income more this dry season. The sweet potatoes grown by the new AMI cooperative is used to produce bread, a bread where the wheat is substituted at 40 to 50% with fresh sweet potatoes. The bakery is in Lagos. However, we are hoping that as things go on, we'll be able to replicate the bakery down in Owerri. And then also, I'm hoping that by helping my own cooperative succeed, I'll also be in a position to help set up a hub that will also aid and help other OKOBI cooperatives succeed.
Okay, great. So, how did you start?
Well, I've been interested in agriculture for a long time. After my BSc, I had gone to Songhai Agricultural Center to learn farming. And so when last year, the OKOBI idea came up, I reached out to the Chief Economic Advisor's office to find out how I could key into the program. And they were helpful in helping me set up the paperwork and, letting me know what it means to be an OKOBI cooperative. Given I was already interested in agriculture, it was very smooth transition for me to rally people in my community and in my village, particularly for now, into a cooperative so that we could start looking at how to work as a group to increase our income.
I'm really interested in your ability to bring others together, because when we talk about OKOBI, our people also complain. Some of the reasons they give is that it's difficult for people to work together. So, how did you manage that? How were you able to convince other people to join you on this ride?
Well, only two things at least. Currently, I'm serving as my Kindred Youth chairman. And when I decided to run for that, I promised to be able to help them in different ways. So it was interesting. OKOBI came along during the process. But getting people to work together has not necessarily been a hard thing. Although decision making is very hard with multiple people, and given is a cooperative, everybody has equal voice and equal mind. And that was why I actually split up the main cooperative from the bakery, so that when we are doing things in the bakery, we are not hindered by waiting for too many consensus opinions. However,
I'm still going back to that point. What did you tell them to join you on this? I mean, the incentives for them, what do they gain? I mean, how were you able to serve that?
So on one hand, my village, particularly in AMI, is by the water, and I've seen people grow, vegetables by the water. So it was easy to get a lot of the women from the different kindreds in my own village, because what I first did was I said, all right, I'll first buy you guys a water pump and then help you increase your productivity. But it was easy to key them in, because when I told them, okay, if you grow sweet potatoes for me, at the end of the harvest, you are sure of a guaranteed market, which means they don't have to go to the market themselves. They don't have to be bothered about extra things that come with, farming and agriculture. All they have to do is just collect seeds from me, they grow it, and then when it's time, I harvest it. So I've literally made the rainy season process for them, very easy. And then the extra incentive was I'll supply you water pumps and then, information, extension services through consultants that can help you improve your productivity at other times. So I try to key into, currently I would say we are more than 10, but 10 people were what we actually needed to set up the cooperative. But by this December, I would say we are more than 10, because we ended up buying 3 water pumps for the different kindreds. Initially we bought 2, but my mom said we should buy 3 so that it's for each kindred. And so right now, I can't tell you how many, because a lot of people use those water pumps. And then every 3 weeks when their vegetables have been harvested, we use a bus and, help them take their goods into the market.
Okay, but
So the vegetable one is
let's go
very
back a bit,
recent.
right? Let's go back a bit.
But
Let's go back a bit. How many?
yes.
What sort of ownership? So you have about 10, and you're a cooperative. Do they have a stake in the business, or from the
Yes.
look of things, you're the one who is driving it, and then are they employees, or so that any person listening to us can understand your model?
So in
The
the
unique model that you have developed. So how are you able to get others involved, and about ownership as well, if you can reflect on that?
Okay, so for the cooperative is owned by everyone in the cooperative. Those are the rules and regulations around cooperatives. And so what they do is when everybody brings everyone works together on their own individual farms. When they are going to the market to go drop the goods, when they're trying to buy fuel for the water pumps, they contribute together. And then when they've all gotten their money, everyone, there's a whole big purse for sharing costs. And then it makes it easy to share profit. But then for the bakery, I largely own the bakery. However, the cooperative at the end of each year would get an extra 10% from the bakery because they already grow sweet potatoes for us. So it's also a form of social enterprise. So I'm running two businesses, side by side. But my goal is by the time I'm able to set up a new bakery here in Owerri, then the cooperative here would own it. But I would have created a proof of concept that allows me be able to, set up here in Owerri.
So from the look of things, your cooperative is one where you have individual producers, in this case, individual farmers, but
Yes.
they share some cost. Say, for example,
Yes.
if there are things, okay, so, and they work independently, but when at times they pull resources together to address their common problems. Is that correct?
Yes, that's exactly
Okay.
what it is.
So from the look of things, how much do they make? Because at the end of the day, we also want people to have reasonable employment. Without revealing a lot that might endanger your business. I mean, what sort of income do you anticipate have eventually?
I would try to use a percentage figure, at least from our own analysis, because what we do is there are a few core women who are very well educated. So I talk to them directly. What we know, at least for now, is at least during this dry season, we were able to increase their income by 20%. So that's so far, right? And this was before we had gotten them to extra water pumps.
I don't know whether it's from my end or from your end, but the line is a bit sluggish.
By the end of February, we'll be able to now exactly say, okay, how much more has this water pumps increased their productivity and their sales? But currently, we know is about 20%. For just growing sweet potatoes, we were able to increase their profit by 40%. Because hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, but it seems there is a delay.
Yes, from my end.
Okay, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, hello, Prof. So, yes, I can hear you. Yeah, so for me, for the cooperative, our hope is to be able to properly monitor them over the next 1 year. Then it will allow us to be able to see where the holes are and, where the problems are, and be able to help them solve more problems.
Okay, fine. Prof, I don't know if you have any questions for Chined. Oh.
What the concept, it's not one that most of the other OKOBI entrepreneurs will fit in. Because what I see here, it's a model where independent farmers come together to develop infrastructure that they will individually benefit from. For instance, when he was talking about the pump and so on and so forth, which is a good thing. But I also think that for that model to be sustainable, they will need to look more to create products. I hear he talked about sweet potato, but there will be need to create products that can sustain the farmers in the long run, as well as building capacity. They need to engage in capacity building efforts to help individual farmers look at all the produce that can sustain them as time goes on. But otherwise, being an anchor person in that community has made it a lot easier for the members to come together, because he seemed to me to be an informed and who's sure of exactly where he's going. He's going as well. And I have no doubt that if he can sustain that model, it will be profitable in the long run for him and his members. That's all I can say for now.
Okay, friend. I think that's good feedback to Chinedu to consider.
Thank you
okay, I don't know
very much, Prof.
Okay, please.
Prof, are you?
Yes, I don't know if you have any thoughts. Yes.
The only thing I can say here is that I'm impressed with the young man who is speaking to us. For him to come home and try to build up this kind of OKOBI with his type of model is also encouraging. But I think he should look inwards and see how committed these people can be in order to unite them properly, so that whatever productions they have can have equal compensations or equal earnings. Because that area in the business that he's running right now is not very clear to me, in terms of benefits for these people. But I think it has to be properly articulated in a way that it will encourage other people to join and make this thing very sustainable.
Okay, I think that's a fair comment as well, and one he would take on board. But I think the important thing is that he has started. So all we need also to do is to encourage him, and he's cooperative. And there are different models, and there are different ways people are engaging with this. So whatever works for them, as long as they're addressing the issues of unemployment, they are addressing the issues of poverty, and they're empowering people. So, and like you said, if the members can be better incentivized, I think that's what you're saying in essence, so that they can participate. And one of the things we're also saying is that ownership is critical. So when people think that they are working for others, there is that tendency to slack. But when they think they are working for themselves, it empowers them a lot. And that's
absolutely
what we want to use the OKOBI model also to achieve. So Chinedu, thank you for what you do, and keep it up. You are our OKOBI ambassador. I guess other young people will learn from you and see what you're doing and find it inspirational. So let me move over to Mrs. Odide Okoro. And please, do you want to say hello to the audience and introduce your business?
Hello, everyone. The name of my cooperative society is Umweyi Cooperative Women Cooperative Society. It's located in Akabo, in Ikeduru local government area. The Umweyi Community Women Cooperative Society was actually conceived and registered in 2009, I believe, and was built around getting my kindred women involved in business, because we found out that people around here were not quite business-like, and even when you talk about business, they think you have to have tons of money to start one. So I registered. We registered that cooperative, and because I have a poultry facility, it was registered with the mind that they get involved in what we are already doing. And in the process of things, we had a problem in the poultry, which cost us some devastating losses, and we lost quite a number of birds, 6,500 laying birds at a point. It dealt a huge blow on us. At that time, again, I must say, even though that it was registered as a cooperative, I remained the sole financier of it. But I took it's my way of giving back to the society. I didn't have to get anybody to get any money, but they just got involved in what was happening. After that, we continued the process, and it was a bit difficult building back because it cost a whole lot of money to have taken it to that level and losing virtually everything. As it is now, when COVID happened, that was another setback, and we are just trying again to get our acts together. And it was quite interesting when one got informed about OKOBI, and for me, it's like, oh, this is the light at the end of the tunnel. So I also happen to be the chair lady of my kindred women. So most of these women are directly under my supervision at this time in the village. So for now, we are working towards restocking for our layer stock, because in the last 3 years, we basically just done broilers, sell off in December, and we are getting ready to stock up for the year and continuing the layers program, which is actually the mainstay of the poultry.
Okay, so before you continue, right? How I know you started some time ago. How were you able to convince people to join this cooperative? Again, going back to the question I asked Chinedu, when people think about community or group-owned businesses, sometimes we think that we can't work as a group, and I hear this a lot. So, this cooperative. I'm just curious.
Hey, ndị be ka anyị nwere that mentality of ego anọ, and once you have that ego anọ mentality at the back of your mind, you really don't move. Well, it wasn't difficult getting people on board because they were not requested to bring any money. Nani ọrụ na asị ha bịa mee ihe, at the end of the day ha enweta ihe na order hammer like that. And it was, since it wasn't something they must work on a daily basis, ọnwekwa freedom ha ji na-emerekwa ihe ndị ha na-eme, eke ihe eke etu a ga-esi na-eme ya. So that may ha feel tied down to anything. Emekwana ya ka monkey dey walk, baboon dey chop. So,
but if you use that approach, do you think you'll be able to grow the business? Because, cooperative also around the world, there are big businesses. So we can the name, we kept with a meme, we can that kind of idea. So are you thinking of building something that is big enough that will take care of people there? At least something that we're able to give people the minimum wage. As people know, because give government, and then how much does the government job pay? So, but if you have people who are engaged, non villages, and non village earning 50,000 naira from this, is better than non Lagos earning 200,000. So
Ịma
do you
ihe
have
mere
the yeah? Uh-huh.
the thing is ịnọrọ in the village, real village setting, ị ga-ahụ na ọ na-ara ha ahụ ịkọtacha ihe ụfọdụ ị ga na-akọrọ ha. So ichewe mgbe ị ga-abịa kọrọ ha ha aghọta na ọ investment, onwe ihe ị ga-emeta. My first desire will carry people along. Ebidodo na-ebido. Mgbe ndị
Yeah, I
ọzọ
understand. I'm
hụrụ.
here to a lot of mayor. How were you able? Because and when some people might be listening to us and asking how to email here email, right? So, but they don't know how to go about it. How were you able to convince them?
Etu si mee ha na akpọkọrọ m ha kpọkọkwanụ ha gwa ha lekwe ụdị ihe dị etu ụdị ihe dị etu a. Ọ ihe aka nri kwa aka ekpe akwa aka nri, ọ wụ ihe otu onye na-eme. Ma agbakọ mee ihe ya pụta ihe. Ndị kwere nghọta abịa, anyị na-emekwana ya na ndị ọzọ na-elekwa n'anya. N'ike Chineke ebumnobi na n'ime afọ a anyị ga-etinyetụkwa aka n'ihe ọzọ. Ịtụ nwanne m nwoke a si kwuo maka vegetable farming and ụmụ ihe ndị a. But ebe m bi anyị nwere ala arịa ha, anyị chọọ ime vegetable farming, dry season farming, we can easily do it. Anyị adịghị n'akụkụ mmiri, all right, but we have 10,000 gallon tank that can water the so the side I'm looking at. And
okay, you said something about poultry. Are you into poultry as well?
Yes. And I'm an install capacity for between floor rearing and battery cage, about 8,000 birds.
So if you have that capacity, why is it not something people can do on a full-time basis as opposed to this freelance approach?
Convincing people. So
what do you need now to make this poultry function well? He need it.
Ego.
Ego like you need it for it. That's me ego like you need it for it.
So to get 8,000 birds, that is started from day old and maybe to laying point, will not cost anything less than 15 million.
Okay, 15 million naira. Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Madole with that amount of birds in your poultry. Madole participate if you want there.
Working fully. Okay, because
yes, Madole benefited from it, yes.
Makanai were a battery cage section, which takes less number of people. The battery cage section, when it can take up to 1,500 beds, while the floor rearing needs more human interaction than it has. But we can with about 10 people that will handle it.
Okay, 10 people. How long will it take you? You get 50 million naira in a business center. How long will it take to recover that money or to break even?
Well, first it will take for layers. It will take 5 months before they even start laying. So to break
so 50 million. So when you get para the birds until you are or just
yes.
Okay. So that's the entire kind of startup investment, anything.
Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. So if we take it from then, I believe in a space of 1 year, 1.5 years, should be able to at least recover that investment.
And with the market for poultry produce.
Yes. When we're fully producing, I don't even go out to advertise or anything. They come to the poultry and lift.
Okay, so have you made an attempt to reach Umake Bekuno, especially in the Kenya abroad? Because 15 million is $15,000. Okay, so because all we're trying to do here, question of our Kurulo. Okay, when you Bekuno here, no America, no Australia, no UK, or wherever, or even Lagos, Abuja. So you need 15 people to give you 1 million naira each, and then with this 50 million naira, wouldn't that be an option, assuming instead of each?
Well, I never really thought about it because the concept the initial concept was not about how much one was making. It's getting people, carrying people along, teaching them you can do something.
Okay, but now OKOBI is a business.
Now
Can
that
you give out your
OKOBI
number? Yes, can you give out your number? Because or somebody that is interested in now, that is willing to support you, or even link you to a big communication with resources. Can you give out your number if you don't mind, so that people can call you? Yeah.
Okay, my number 0703 304 4999.
Okay. What are you
0703 304 4999.
Okay. And you know Nakabo Ikedru.
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay. So another thing. So one thing I will encourage you that if you need help in terms of putting together a business plan, a proposal, reach out to our office. Reach out to our office. Can you make or make assign to some consultants that can help you put together a good business plan that will enable elsewhere to invest. Because if you can give 10 people, 15 people honor na kabo.
Hello.
Hello? Okay, fine. I think maybe people have started calling you already.
Hello.
Hello, Ingwetewala calls. Okay, but let's Prof or Doc, anything to add?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, people will be calling you because in the number that means that people are listening to us, which is good. So, okay. But whilst you do with the calls, maybe if you can give her a bit of time, you can call her maybe in the next 2 minutes. But Professor Jude Zakom, I want to say something to her.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. I only want to congratulate her for the effort. I know business is not easy. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it goes bad. But I admire her courage and consistency in pushing forward, irrespective of the loss she sustained. She, however, needs to look at few bottom lines to ensure that losses are not experienced often. And that, the only thing I can say that she needs to involve our team more in the business for them to feel as part owners of the business. Because if they begin to look at her as the boss, which is the picture I get, then most of them may not contribute fully to the well-being of the business. But all the same, I thank her for the effort. The business is one that can generate interest in investors, so she should persevere, and OKOBI team will be there to support her. Thank you.
Great. So if you're just joining us, this is the One Kindred, One Business initiative brought to you by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government under the leadership of Senator Hope Uzodimma. So just to play you our clip so you know exactly what we are talking about.
Susie, nne m ahụ gị bụ sọ mma. Ọ dị ka ị nwetala ọrụ n'oyo company. Yosi nwanne m, mgbado udo o. O nweghịkwa ọrụ oyo company m nwetara. Ihe hụrụ m na-amụke wụkwa aka ọrụ OKOBI.
Eleke wụkwa OKOBI. Biko tupu enye m azụ, ahụchiele m anya. Ahụ m chọrọ enyemaka.
Ya bụ na ịnụbeghị maka OKOBI. Ngwa gee ntị. OKOBI wụ atụmatụ ọma gọọmenti hiwere iji kpochapụ ụbịam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara aghara. OKOBI ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị o, maka ọha obodo gị niile. Naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị. Chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị, ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma, dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ painiapụl, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazicha usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta iwepụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ha ozugbo ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 maọbụ 09114360076 09114360076. Ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara OKOBI. OKOBI wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma. OKOBI ụmụnna wike ọwụ ha agha.
Okay, welcome back. Let me go straight to Father Collinus Amadi. Father, do you want to introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I remember Father Cornelius Amadi, and a member of a member of A92 Multi-Purpose Farmers Cooperative that was founded in 2017. Since then, we've been making efforts in setting up some farms individually, and at the same time holding together as a cooperative to help to develop our economy, basically to create jobs. Because we thought that everything cannot rely in the government, that individuals can make efforts to raise up places to engage people to work. Eventually, since we started this cooperative, we happened to register ourselves in the national level, and the opportunity came to us also to engage with the OKOBI movement. And since then, we have learned a lot from the program of the OKOBI initiative. And though we are pursuing our farms individually, but at the same time having similar ideas and minds to move on. Like some of us are into poultry, fishery, and some other agricultural engagements, like setting up crops, farms, pineapple orchard, for instance, cassava plantation, plantain plantation, and other ones. So
okay,
all this
okay.
is
You Father Catholic, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So when you say we, who are they?
Yeah, the we is the members of this cooperative, the Obala, this Obala 92 students, you know.
An alumni association of the
exactly, of Obala Seminary. Sure.
1992. The class of 1992.
Exactly,
and
yes.
Obala Seminary is a Catholic seminary. So some of you father,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And then you decided to come together as a class, or members of this class came together and created this cooperative A92. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. And then you're saying that within the Nimuno there, you have different businesses, but you come together under this class umbrella.
Exactly. Sure. Sure.
So that's an interesting model. Do you tell us more about some of these businesses on the Equally Maka poultry and then we'll fish it? So hello to nature manager, and how do you share resources, assuming you do?
Yeah, we manage it individually, and at the same time, from year to year, we make some contributions, which we call annual contribution, to increase our purse. Like yearly, we make our contributions because we have a primary purpose of something we're pursuing to bring us together and also set up other revenues, some other facilities, some other places like raising up a slaughter home for animals, you know, it's called a butcher, yeah. And in this area also, we wish to engage people for employment, because that is one particular thing that is lacking everywhere. People are going about seeking for what to do. People are going about being hungry. Oftentimes, they are doing these things without knowing that they can also help themselves. So we thought of bringing up something like farming. Farming is a good work in any way, but I know many youths are running away from it. But this is an opportunity for us to correct them, to carry them along. That's why we had serious interest in this OKOBI initiative, a means of encouraging the youth, carrying them along, and also putting them together to work out their grace by themselves.
But Father, please, how were you able to convince your classmates to form this cooperative? Because I know also other alumni associations that are struggling. I mean, they can't even have this conversation. So how were you able to, first, how were you able to do this, and what enabled you to do it?
Yes, you see, our own was not difficult because we discovered that we have same ideas, similar thoughts. That's why it was not difficult for us to come together as a cooperative. What one was thinking is what the other person was thinking. Then we now decided to be what I was. From the beginning, we were like 30 in number. But by the time we were registering, our number became fewer than as it was, because not every one of us were able to have themselves registered. But since we registered, then we do have our meeting from time to time. We do come together, more especially having a Zoom meeting, because most of us are not in Nigeria here. They're all living abroad, and few of us are home here. So that our serious engagement is all about seeing what to do and do it best in order to make sure that our purpose are being carried along. Yeah.
So in your own case, what helped you is that you had individuals who are interested in creating some kind of agribusiness, right?
Sure.
And you thought, instead of you working individually, there is a possibility of coming together under an umbrella or cooperative that can also sustain your thinking. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So Professor Jude wants to come in here.
Thank you, Prof. I think I thank Father Madi for this model. I personally have faith in it. But Father, do I get it that for any of your for anybody to be a member of this cooperative, he must own a farm, or he must be a farmer?
Yes, you must own a farm, because if you don't have a farm, you have nothing to boast with. That farm makes us to have a revenue to meet up with our financial engagement.
I get you. And then the other question I know you said most of you met in the seminary. Is there any possibility of allowing people who did not attend seminary in that year, 1992, to become members of this cooperative?
Yeah, they can be members, but we have another opportunity for them to work with us as our co-workers, not necessarily becoming a cooperative member, because the cooperative is only meant for the 92 members. That's all.
Right. Okay. You talked about youth here. If I heard you well, you talked about encouraging the youths to go into farming. Right. So what effort are you making along that line? Is it these youths, must they also be ex-seminarians, or can this youth come from any part of Imo State? And then
yeah, as I said before, the cooperative is only for the 92 members. But as I told you about the youth, I take myself as an example. I'm a Catholic priest, and I'm into parish work. This is where I engage the youth, making them to realize they cannot be lazing about or entering into what we call Yahoo nowadays. Yeah, so I use church medium to bring them. Hello. I use church medium to bring them. Hello? Yeah, I use church medium to bring them along and carry them along and teach them how to work out their grace, teach them how to farm, and just as co-workers in this cooperative. Yeah.
Right. So can we introduce youths to any of your members to get some training and some mentoring?
Of course.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I think I thank you. I like your model. That's why I'm asking all this question.
So you want to start that for your Old Boys Association, Prof, right?
What matters in business, sometimes the business got principles, and this one appear to be structured for growth and for sustainability. Anyway, Prof, let me not take more time.
No problems, yes.
I'm done. I'm done.
Father, do you want to tell us the different locations of some of your farms or businesses of your members?
Yes. Like my own very farm now goes along with me to any parish I'm engaged. Though I have a permanent farm in my village, Obile precisely, Haji. Then we have our other outlets in Akabo, one of us from that place, another one from Ihiagwa, another one from Ikedru, and precisely Avu. Then another one from Oure Municipal, two from Oure Municipal. Yeah, these are the different areas we have our farms.
And the farms here, some of you are into livestock.
Yes,
right?
yes, animals, yes, like rabbit, grass cutter, fish, and goats.
Okay.
Just like that.
So, how many jobs have you created so far? How many jobs do you think as a collective, as a cooperative, you have created?
Yeah, for now, we have engaged like 14 people to work for us, that's in our different farms altogether.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it has the potential to create more jobs. And the other point which we are also working on is how we can work with different parishes, especially Catholic and Anglican parishes, because you have the church has a very good structure. So imagine a situation where every parish in Imo State, every Catholic parish had a business. It will be revolutionary. And people like you can actually help other priests and church people think about that. If you don't mind, do you want to leave your number in case anyone listening to us may want to contact you to see what they can learn from your alumni association?
Yes, of course. My number is 08030963641.
Okay. Do you want to say it again, please?
08030963641.
Okay, thank you very much, Father, and stay with us. Let me move to Prince Francis. Prince Francis, do you want to introduce yourself and what you do? When he comes on board, Dr. Okeanukwem, I don't know if you have any thoughts so far.
Yeah, I have a question for Father.
Okay.
He said that they make contributions from the various farms.
Yeah.
So my question is, since they started making these contributions, which is geared towards having a collective thing for themselves as a cooperative, what achievements have they made with those contributions?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, our achievement is about to come up this year because in our last meeting, we marshal out things to engage ourselves into. Like we have two good intentions this time around, like raising a place for slaughtering animals and sellers, and again having some warehouses in the town where we can be bringing our products in case. Yeah. So these are the two necessary things we're about to begin with what we have at hand, our fiscal discipline.
So maybe the other thing is to think that you have the resources, or would you want people to invest in your?
Yeah, we have little resources, and we really want people to invest, and maybe those who are interested to help us to come up to an expectation.
Okay, great. And maybe what you can also do is to reach out to the larger Opala Seminary Alumni Association, not just your class, because your class is 1992. Opala Seminary has been there for more than 50 years. So you can tap into different classes as well.
It depends their interest. They may not like to follow us. They may like to create their own. That's
you can never tell. Mention it to them and see if that can also expand other opportunities for your class. And your
it's okay. We shall look into it. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Prince, are you now there, Prince? Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, please do introduce yourself.
Okay.
Time is no longer a friend.
You've just called my name, Prince Francis Ekoha. I'm the coordinator of Africa Women Agro Foundation. This is an organization that the visionary, who is not right here now, out of great concern of the deterioration situation of our women, youth, and the vulnerable persons in the society, in a bid to spur them into the implemental process for nation building and to work as a team to improve the standard of living of both the foundation members and target audience. This is a foundation that was established in 2016, and the visionary can now see from what I have just said what the foundation is female gender sensitive. The target is the empowerment of women and the youth. And since within the years of this establishment of this foundation, it may interest you to know that this foundation is not only operating in Imo State. They covers about 10 years, about 10 states in the federation now.
Are you Prince? Are you a business? I know foundations can be maybe NGOs or charitable organizations, but are you a business?
We're in business, and this is a cooperative too. So what they do, since they have covered some states in the federation, about 10 states in the corporation in the federation, so they have their management teams in the states. They would have a
what business are you into? What specific businesses are you into?
Yes, what they do, like when they get to each state, what they do is to take opportunity and advantage of what the construction of particularly the commodity there, and the layers, and they also collaborate with the people or the persons that are there. So what I'm trying to say, like
Imo State, Francis.
Yes, our presence is now in Imo State.
Imo State, and Imo State.
That is where I'm coming to. Our presence is now in Imo State, and we have secured a place in Uguta, Izombe, about 70 hectares of land, where about 25,000 palm trees have been planted there. And what we do, like I said earlier, is that any state we go, we'll find out what type of business at the cooperative we are going to do there. Now in Imo State, there are over 10 cooperatives that are under this foundation, just like as you asked. This 10 cooperatives do different things. Like when you get to Olo now, there's a place we have gathered the women. They are processing cocoyam into powder for thickening of the soup, and in the various areas, like we said in our different in Uguta. Now we are already trying building a place there for the processing of palm oil. If not, 2 years with a place, if not because of the
Prince Francis, I keep saying we. And we're talking about cooperative business here. Remember this OKOBI business we're talking about. When you say we don't know whether it's the organization that is a national one. You're talking about or your members.
Yeah,
I think we're running out of time. If you can tell us briefly what business that exists here in Imo State and who are your members. So let us know whether that fits in properly into the OKOBI business we're discussing. For want of time, I'm not sure how long we can go on, with your presentation. Rene, over to you, Prof.
Yes. Let
me answer your questions. Francis, I mean, if you can be specific, tell us what you're doing in Imo State and the business. I mean, you mentioned palm plantation, and also think also about the who are the we here. And that would be fine. So if you have 2 minutes to do that, that would be great.
Oh, yes, actually, we have palm plantation at Uguta, specifically Izombe, is in progress. The work is ongoing there. Then we have a lot of women under our cooperatives in different cooperatives also who are under the training of skill acquisition and the other areas of training. They are there doing it in Imo State right now.
Okay, let me ask you just a final question. How much do these women, and I mean individual, I mean on the average, how much will a member of your cooperative make a month?
Oh, it really depends the business that work, because they are into processing, packaging. It really depends the volume of the business in that area. The one is doing in that area.
Yeah, so just on average, I mean, you don't need to be specific. You can say they make like 10,000 naira a month or 20,000 naira a month or more.
I know of one that makes over 100,000 naira a month.
Okay, fantastic. So how many of them, how many women are in this from the different cooperatives? So do you have up to 300 or 200 or 100 members in all?
I think in Imo State alone, we have over 500 members, because the way we do is to mobilize them into these cooperatives for skill acquisition and training them equally.
So you can support different people now or communities that want to create their own cooperative.
Then move them into the various aspects where I mentioned, where we are planting cocoyam, producing it, converting it to powder for soup taking it. Okay, fine. Can you give us your phone number so that anyone listening to us can reach out to you for more advice? Okay, 090 55 94 62 43. Okay, take it again, please. 090 55 94 62 43. Okay, thank you very much. We've come to the end of it today. Time is not often our friend, and I want to thank my co-moderators, Professor Jude Nzako and Dr. Oke Anukwem. I also want to thank my team, Mr. Jovita Agu, Mr. Deze Waka, Mr. Deza Ashaheme, and also our panelists, Father Kolenu Samadi, Chinedu Mwago, Mrs. Odide Okoro, and Prince Francis Ekoha. It's always a pleasure having these sessions, and please do keep in touch, and see you soon.
You be the longest job for oil company.
Oil company job, okay? I know.
Hello.
Shine where they see me.
I beg also for your
OKOBI and create employment for you and everybody for your community. Check around you now. Use your sense. Calculate any business where you go fit set up together with your kinsmen, community members, and even your friends. Whether na rice farming, palm kernel shells, poultry, fishery, pineapple production, rabbit keeping, oil production, honey production, plus other etc. Set them up as joint business with your family and friends. Then reach out to the office of the Chief Economic Advisor to Imo State Government. Him go guide you, direct you as you go take do this business go work well, bring ogbonge profit and create employment for we people.
How you go fit get them for phone, I beg?
Oh, yeah, call this number. You go get all the answers where you need about OKOBI. 0701 351 2035. 0701 351 2035. Or you call 0911 436 0076. 0911 436 0076. Or you book appointment to get meeting to find out everything about OKOBI. OKOBI, that the feature of the shared prosperity agenda of the Executive Governor of Imo State, Distinguished Senator Ho Uzodimma.
OKOBI, Omunna Wike, Owoyala.